we start from shit still. Okay, so Jimmy's squashing down on these, not making life easy. Foot comes over to the middle, underneath, both legs extend, get that hip line off, get my underhook, push that knee out, come to here. Now, a lot of people, Lucas asked me a super good question. He's like, do you still keep them stretched out? Like, are you trying to still stretch them out from here once I'm here? Generally, all I'm really focused on is keeping my lockdown. I don't care if they're stretched out or if you'll see me right now, I have bent knees and they're up and I'm kind of hugging around his leg and I'm trying to keep me as close to him as possible. So to answer that, that's a really good question. All I'm really focused on is just where his body is in comparison to me and keeping the lockdown. I don't really care if they're stretched or up. I just don't want him pressuring me one way or another. But by all means, I can stretch him back out again, or I can bring him up even closer and suck myself under more, depending on what I want to do, okay? But the other thing I'm really a big fan of is I'll push the knee out, and that's to get the reaction of him bringing his knee back in, okay? And that's generally what they're going to do. They're going to bring the knee back in every time. So I'll push that out, but as I'm pushing out, you'll see like I'm kind of framing a bit with that, like and I've got his hip line here. I'm hugging his hip line, I'm not hugging his shoulders, okay? So I've got this hand around the hips, I'm pushing that knee out, and now as he goes to bring it back in, I just slide it there, okay? So I've completely slid underneath his shin, and I just grab his toes. From there, I will whale tail and come up on top, okay? Now I'm in a brilliant position. All I do to pass here, I keep the foot because I'm a mongrel. You don't need that back yet. I'll let you have it back when I say. And then I'll unlock the lockdown by bringing the leg that's around the foot. I'll just release it, but you'll see that the foot that is hugging the knee is still locked into place. I'm not letting him get his legs back yet. Then I'll kick my leg around, come underneath his knee, and I'll kick him over here, come up to the back. Okay? So it's a nice little sweep to, if you do it right, you'll either land in side control or taking the back. So you just got to follow a few little sequences to get there. But one of the main things is once I slide underneath here and I've got his foot, I grab him by the toes. You grab at the head of the snake. You don't grab at the halfway down, okay? If you grab in the shin, it's a lot harder battle. I want to grab the toes, I want to peel it in close to me. You'll see as that peel in, I drive my shoulder forward. So I want to drive my shoulder into his hip as I'm peeling his foot underneath his hip, okay? And in that motion again, as I said, I'll whale tail. So I'm going to use the lockdown to do that type of motion there, okay? So I'm doing all that at once, which will pull me up onto my belly and roll over on top of him. Is that making sense? Cool. So again, legs come the inside, lock down, pull him down, on the hook, base camp. He goes to pull back in. Cool. Got all this, pulling this in, whale tail, coming up. From there, just scoot around just to see it a little bit better so everyone can see what I'm doing with my feet here. I've got the feet still locked up. I still want to try and keep the lockdown as much as possible because I've got all of his bottom hips here controlled. There's nothing he can do. From here, just keep my head down. I will release the leg that's around his foot, but the one that's around his knee will still stay tight. I'll come over the top, get underneath his leg, kick him out of the way, taking the back. If that falls to balls and you just don't you muddle the feet getting out, you're still in side control. You're still in a really good place, okay? Everyone's good with that? Any questions? What's different angle? I'll try and hit from here a bit. So I'm here, lock down, hips off, to here, he comes in. And then gift wrapping. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3.